Hello and welcome to this new Edge SEO challenge. Today we're going to talk about caching. You've just implemented an SEO recommendation, but nothing is changing on your page. Don't panic, your change is probably in place, but it's being hidden by the cache. So just a quick reminder, what is cache? When a page is cached, an optimized version of it is stored on a server to deliver it more quickly to your users. It's a good web perf practice, but when you deploy an SEO recommendation, you might want to see it immediately on your site. There are two options to test your changes. The first is to test your site using the Fastorize plugin by bypassing the cache on the browser side. I'll put the link to the tutorial video about our plugin where we explain all of this just below in the description. And the second option is to flush the cache from the console. And that's what I'm going to show you now. So let's go to the console together and I'll show you how to flush the cache. We'll go to the top right and click on the quick action button, then select flush cache. A pop-up will appear and you'll have several options available. I recommend using only the two options, HTML page and by URL. Why? Because the other options will have an impact on web performance. Obviously, I absolutely do not recommend flushing the cache globally because it affects web performance. And static resources are not relevant to us in our GCO context. So again, I advise you not to flush by static resources. So let's select by URL, which is the one I recommend to use most often, and to add the URLs you want to flush one by one so you can test your changes. So for example, I'll enter the URL of the home page and I can also add another URL. For instance, the one for the clothing category, you can enter one URL per line. Once you've entered the URLs you want to flush, you can click on I confirm the purge, and when you go back to the site, the page will have been flushed and your changes applied. The second option is HTML page. So if you check HTML page, what will happen is that we will flush all the HTML pages on your site, meaning all the HTML content of your site will be flushed, but not the static files like images, CSS, or JS. Here, I recommend using this only after you've thoroughly validated your recommendation by flushing by URL to make sure that, for example, if you wanted to deploy a recommendation across all the pages of your site, you should test it on a few first, make sure it works properly, and then use page HTML if you don't want to wait for the cache to expire in order to see your changes. When we talk about cache invalidation, it means, for example, that my cache has a lifespan of 1 day. For example, I made a change and I want it to last for a full day, thank you, with this change before generating a new version of the page. So if you don't want to wait for that day, you can check page HTML. And as always, I confirm the cache purge, and then it will flush all the pages on your site. There you go. Thanks to this new challenge, you now know why you don't always see your SEO recommendations immediately, how to test without cache, and how to flush properly without ruining your web performance. So the plugin for testing, the console for flushing, and you keep control over your SEO deployments. And I'll see you very soon for a new challenge.